So here's the real reason why Tank doesn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. And this is just my opinion, and I don't want anybody to make it seem like I'm hating on Tank, that I think Shakur's the best fighter in the world. You know, he's up there, but we still have to see him fighting the best. Same with Tank. So I really think that it's a great fight. You guys know that I say on this channel a lot that that's the best fight in boxing, in my opinion, to see who's really that guy, because they're both in their primes. They're both, you know, have opposing styles where, you know, each person is their biggest weakness. Because if you think about it, Tank likes guys that come forward so he can set him up for a counter shot, and Shakur likes guys who try to box him but don't have the ability. You know, he likes wild punchers that really do come forward, and Tank does that, but he's much more dangerous because he's low volume and is a slow starter, but then picks it up and begins to place his shots more, you know, with more accuracy, more precision, and then that's what creates that knockout effect that Tank does carry. So that's what's dangerous for Shakur Stevenson. But the real reason I feel like Tank isn't fighting Shakur is because, you know, it's a difficult stylistic matchup, like I just said. You know, I'm not saying he's scared. I think that there's a chance that he loses a decision, right? What's the worst that could happen to Tank if he fights Shakur Stevenson? He's gonna lose a decision. He's sure as hell not getting knocked out. He's not getting hurt or stopped, that's for sure. But he might get frustrated. He might lose a unanimous decision. That is a very possible outcome for Shakur versus Tank, but I wouldn't bet on it. I would bet that Tank finds one moment. I'm banking on one moment throughout, I always say it, throughout 12 rounds, 3 minutes apiece. You're telling me Tank can't land that one shot? I know that Shakur is great at defense. I just think when it's somebody as good as Tank, it's a different ball game, and I think no one can prepare him for that. No one can prepare him for that, but also Tank has to be prepared to not get his way either. This can't be one of those fights where it's like, all right, let's wait 4 to 5 rounds before we start picking up the pace and start placing our shots. He might have to go at Shakur earlier, because if not, I'm not sure Shakur will leave that door open for Tank to get back into the fight. That's what makes it interesting. You know, Shakur is very good with the distance measuring and keeping fighters on the outside where they can't hit him, but Tank is very underneath. You know, he's going to be smaller. If you guys think about it, Tank's always, you know, in that range where the fighters are typically taller than him. The only fighter that really gave him some problems was Isaac Cruz, who was actually shorter than Tank. But when Tank's down here, everybody else is up here. It's hard to, you know, gauge that distance when Tank is constantly feigning, you know, playing with the lead hand and you know, faking shots to get a reaction, and then that's when he sets up his counter shots. That's difficult. That's difficult to deal with, and that's why I'm so convinced that Tank is gonna pick a moment, and in that moment he's gonna clip Shakur Stevenson and make him run into something, or you know, Shakur will think he's out of range, and when Shakur does that little pullback, it's not gonna be enough. And I think Tank is a very precise fighter. He's a very calculated fighter, a very efficient fighter. He might not throw a lot. Might allow Shakur to gain some confidence, get into a groove where Shakur is kind of just cruising, you know, touching Tank to the body and doing all that stuff, being a little bit busy. But I just don't see him maintaining that level of defense where he's not getting touched with anything throughout 12 rounds. If it was any other fighter, I might, you know, I could probably say he'll handle it. Like Devin Haney and Shakur, that's you know, a lot of people say that might be a boring fight. But the truth is that right now I'd have to pick Shakur Stevenson, because with Devin, he takes more risk. And I think Shakur would be a little bit smarter. But, you know, Devin's more of an offensive fighter than Shakur Stevenson is. So that's what makes it a little bit more interesting. I'd still want to see it. That's just my opinion. Some people don't care about it because he got stopped by Ryan, and don't care. A lot of people don't care about the fact that Ryan tested positive, so they're like, I don't want to see Shakur fight Devin. I want to see Shakur go straight to Tank. And I agree with you. I'm just saying I wouldn't mind that fight happening. Let's say Shakur and Tank don't get it on, which, you know, I don't know. Tank saying that he's retiring. I don't know how realistic the possibility is of Shakur fighting Tank, especially with Tank's, you know, 3-fight deal. If Shakur is going to be one of those fights, great. But if not, you know, I wouldn't be too mad at Shakur and Devin. You know what I mean? So I hope we get it. Don't get me wrong. But I also understand, you know, Tank's a little hesitant because he could lose a decision. And it wouldn't be embarrassing, but it might be, you know, very frustrating for him. You know, Tank's a very emotional fighter at moments. And I think that, you know, not being able to land shots on Shakur Stevenson might make him angry. And that's a reason why, you know, if it does go to unanimous decision and Tank loses, he's going to be real mad. And I think that's one of the factors that kind of takes Tank away from the direction of fighting Shakur Stevenson. But, if it's me, I'm putting Tank in there. I think Tank beats Shakur, but it's not an easy night. That's why I understand there's not much of an urge to fight Shakur. It's easy to say, he hasn't accomplished anything because, it's a difficult stylistic matchup for Tank. I'm not saying Tank would lose. You guys heard me. I said Tank's going to win this fight. But in the back of his mind, the worst case scenario is that he does lose a unanimous decision. It's possible. This is boxing, and Shakur is one of the best in the world. So it's very interesting, but I do pick Tank just based upon the fact that I think we haven't seen the best version of him just yet, and I think when we do, it's going to be against Shakur Stevenson, and I think Tank stops Shakur. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next Navs boxing video. Peace. That's going to do it for another Navs Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.